Justin, uwi na tayo. Sir Lai, uwi na tayo. Sige po.
Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be front and center. You can watch this program on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. That's Radyo Pilipinas World Service. And you can hear this broadcast on our audio streaming over PBS eBox receiver app. Also on our shortwave broadcast through following shortwave frequencies: 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.665 MHz. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Let's begin Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Before we head to our first guest, our guest rather for today, so let's begin focusing on the situation or the developments, particularly on the former President Rodrigo Duterte's case at the International Criminal Court or ICC, because the International Criminal Court Office of the Prosecutor has named 8 incumbent and past officials, including Senators Ronald Bato de la Rosa and Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo, and former Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II as alleged co-perpetrators in the killings that took place during the campaign against illegal drugs in the Philippines. So that was in the former administration, the Duterte administration. The ICC Deputy Prosecutor Mame Mandyaye Niang, in a court document dated February 13, said detained former President Rodrigo Duterte and the alleged co-perpetrators, as the document said, shared a common plan or agreement to neutralize alleged criminals in the Philippines, as well as those perceived and killed or allegedly to be linked rather with drug use, sale or production through violent crimes, and including murder. Senator De La Rosa, who was Duterte's first Philippine National Police Chief, has not been seen in public since the Senate session in its resume in November 2025, and he disappeared after reports surfaced that he will be arrested too. I remembered the then Justice Secretary and now the Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla said that there is an arrest warrant that is out that will be served to Senator Bato de la Rosa, but it's not yet, or it appears that the arrest warrant is not yet out. So still, it's wait and see development. So and it needs to be proven true if the warrant of arrest will be served against Senator De La Rosa. And on January 21, when he turned 64 upon his birthday celebration, Senator De La Rosa posted on Facebook that he is alive and well, seeking for justice to emerge and take over, and remains patient, composed, and dignified. And aside from De La Rosa, Senator Go, and former Justice Secretary Aguirre, the others are named in that document released by the ICC as co-perpetrators in the killing. So one of them is former Davao City Police Chief, or Vicente Danao, which he served from October 2013 to June 2016. and as well as being the PNP counterintelligence chief from July 2016 to February 2017. PNP Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Deputy Director for Operations from February 2017 to November 2018, and Manila Police District Director from November 2018 to October 2019. And meanwhile, included in the case is the late Police General Camilo Cascolan, who served as finance chief of Davao Region Police Office from 2011 to 2012, chief of the PNP or the PNP Directorate for Operations from July 2016 to 2018, and director of the National Capital Region Police Office from April to May 2018, and chief of staff in the PNP Office of the Chief of Director Staff from November or September 2018 to October 2019. Meanwhile, included in the document is former PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde, who served as director of the NCRPO from July 2016 to 2018 and chief of the PNP from April 2018 to October 2019. Meanwhile, the former National Bureau of Investigation Davao Region Director Dante Geran is involved in this case, and also Geran also served as the NBI director from 2016 to 2020. And Isidro La Peña, who served as the chief of the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency from 2016 to 2017. Also listed in that list were unnamed members of the PNP and high-ranking government officials. So the prosecution said Duterte, Go, and the law enforcement official used the police from Davao City and non-police hitmen together with the so-called Davao Death Squad or DDS to kill alleged criminals during the mayoral period of the former president, covering June 30, 2013 to June 30, 2016. The document read, by means of their de jure and or de facto authority, one or more of the co-perpetrators controlled a structure of power, the local police, and related DDS hierarchy that enabled them to control the will of the physical perpetrators. And as mayor, the document continues, the prosecutor office said Duterte sat at the apex of the formal police and city structures with legal control over the PNP units in Davao City, as well as non-police Davao City Hall workers and barangay officials who sometimes participated in or facilitated the crimes. And the so-called barangay handlers or village handlers and police, it alleged subordinated members or DDS members who were the ones who allegedly carried out the crimes. And the alleged co-perpetrators, it added, that powered over those physically conducting the crime who felt they had no choice but to obey or risk being killed and or disposed of. And during the Duterte's presidency, the prosecution said the listed names agreed to expand the common plan to neutralize alleged criminals across the Philippines. And the document said that in their new geographically expanded roles, the co-perpetrators controlled the will of the physical perpetrators through a mechanism that ensured their automatic compliance with their orders. And this mechanism, the ICC said, relied upon the alleged co-perpetrators' authority over the physical perpetrators through the change of command and payments, among others. The prosecution in the same document containing the charges against Duterte said the former chief executive is individually criminally responsible as an indirect co-perpetrators for 3 counts of crimes against humanity. So, first count is murders in or around Davao City during the mayoral period. Second is murders of high-value targets during the presidential period. Count number 3, murders and attempted murders in barangay clearance operations during the presidential period. And so that's the 3 counts of crimes against humanity that was said there by the ICC as they point those co-perpetrators in that campaign. And Duterte taken to the ICC detention center in The Hague, Netherlands on March 11, 2025 will attend his confirmation hearing next week on February 23 after he was deemed fit to stand trial and rejected the appeal of former President Duterte's camp to overturn the earlier ruling. The ICC ruled on January 26 that the former president, who turns 81 in March, is fit to take part in the pre-trial and denied his request for an indefinite adjournment of the proceedings. His camp filed an appeal on February 2, citing four issues. First one, that the pre-trial chamber erred in fact and in law by ignoring relevant clinical evidence on Duterte's lack of fitness to stand trial. Second is the chamber erred in law by rejecting the defense request to hold a hearing on Duterte's purported fitness. The third one is the erred in law by failing to articulate coherently its reasoning as to why it believed Duterte is fit to proceed to the confirmation hearing, and erred in law in confining its assessment of Duterte's fitness to the pretrial phase and in failing to consider the impact of its finding on Duterte's ability to stand trial. And the pretrial chamber one reasoned that the defense in its first proposed issue misrepresents the relevant findings made in the January 26 decision, pointing out that the reports it provided were given to the panel of medical experts who took them into consideration when they assessed Duterte's health. And they also argued the Duterte camp, or it also argued there rather by the chamber, that the defense failed to substantiate that there is any strident conflict or significant inconsistency which is capable of undermining the overall weight of the general joint conclusion on the fitness. Meanwhile, the issue on the supposedly failing to articulate why it believed the former chief executive is fit to stand trial, the chamber said it decided to consider solely the panel of experts' conclusion, which in itself integrated the defense's medical report to ensure the fairness of the proceedings. And it said there that the chamber gave clear and exhaustive instructions to the expert as to the factual assessment they were required to carry out in order for the chamber to proceed to its legal determination on Mr. Duterte's fitness to participate in the proceedings. And these instructions also reflect the elements, including the relevant rights of the suspect, on which the panel had to focus on to provide its conclusion. And the panel reports specifically addressed these points, and the chamber made findings based on the panel's conclusion. And lastly, the chamber noted that its January 26 decision does not prejudge Duterte's fitness to stand trial, nor preclude any chamber of the court to revisit the issue should the need arise. And the ICC is scheduled to hold the confirmation hearing on Duterte, as we mentioned earlier, on February 23 in The Hague, Netherlands, to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to establish grounds to believe that he committed the crime against humanity in connection with the so-called drug war when he was Davao City Mayor and President of the Philippines. And also on Friday, the pretrial chamber authorized the participation of 500 individuals in the pretrial proceedings, forming part of a group or persons who clearly qualify as victims. And the ICC adopted a system for transmission and admission of victim applications, classifying them into three categories: Group A, or applicants who clearly qualify as victims; Group B, or applicants who clearly do not qualify as victims; and Group C, or applicants for whom the court could not make a clear determination for any reason. So, and for the as we talk about this the Duterte case, we gathered the series of reactions regarding the inclusion of former Duterte officials in the campaign in the against drug and also criminality during the administration. So, starting off with the former senator and Mamamayang Liberal Party List Representative Laila De Lima, uh, she's known to be a longtime critic and victim of the drug war's legal battle. So, you, as we have seen it, the former senator and now the representative said that the ICC has made the world smaller for those named, implying their intentional international mobility is now severely restricted. So basically, Representative De Lima is delighted on upon hearing the news that the perpetrators, Senators De La Rosa and Go, will be is included there as one of the perpetrators of the drug war of the Duterte administration. And meanwhile, former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, who has been a key figure in providing evidence to the ICC, predicted that arrest warrants for both De La Rosa and Go are likely to be issued in the first half of 2026. Meanwhile, human rights groups hailed the naming of co-perpetrators as a historic step towards justice for the thousands of victims. On the other side, Senator De La Rosa does not have any statement as of this time, but he has notably disappeared from the public eye, having not attended Senate sessions since November 2025. And also, Senator Christopher Bongo has remained largely silent following the recent ICC filings. His camp has not issued a formal response to this particular case, being labeled as co-perpetrator, though he has historically denied any involvement in the so-called Davao death squad. And on the part of the government, the administration stated that it will not meddle in the ICC's pretrial proceedings. And this is a shift from earlier years when the government more aggressively shielded officials. And the government recently opposed Bato de la Rosa's Supreme Court petition to stop his potential arrest, suggesting the executive branch is allowing the legal process to take its course. And over the weekend, Senator Panfilo Lacson said that any arrest warrant issued by the International Criminal Court against Senators De La Rosa and Go should not bypass Philippine courts, as Philippine courts must be respected in whatever course of action the ICC may take, or the domestication of foreign legal orders. So this is a hypothetically, if the arrest warrant will be issued against two senators. So Senator Lacson said that that arrest warrant must or must go through the Philippine courts, and it should not be bypassed, or it should not be ignored as a form of courtesy and respect. And in a petition filed by the Duterte camp at the Supreme Court in March 2025, it said that under Philippine law, foreign issued arrest requests have no automatic legal effect, and any action taken must be based on domestic legal authority. Moreover, the ICC lacks the power to compel Interpol to act against Philippine nationals, particularly since the Philippines withdrew from the Rome Statute in 2019, enforcing an ICC-related red notice violates Philippines' sovereignty. Thus, any cooperation by Philippine authorities with Interpol on ICC-related matters constitutes a grave abuse of discretion and an unconstitutional infringement on national sovereignty. So that's the content or a portion of the petition filed by the Duterte camp regarding the arrest warrant that ICC may file against the former president and his former top government officials. So this is a wait and see development again. So a date to note, February 23, that will be the confirmation, or that it's still technically part of the pre-trial chamber, but that February 23 event is the confirmation of hearing of Duterte of those charges of crimes against humanity that was filed in the International Criminal Court. And before we go to our guest for today, we will have a short break here in the program as we will tackle about the recent visit of Royal Australian ship here in the Philippines. They docked here over the weekend, and they have conducted a or they conducted an interoperability exercises. So, what entails the interoperability exercises between navies of Australia in the Philippines, and should we expect similar naval exercises in the future? So we will get the side of the Philippine Navy in this program. So, but in the meantime, Front and Center will be right back. Don't go away.
Sa isang bagong Pilipinas, hindi dapat makamba ang pamilyang Pilipino sa mga bayarin sa ospital. Kaya naman sa Zero Billing Policy, libre ang inyong paggamot sa lahat ng mga Department of Health hospitals. Mapa-inpatient, outpatient, o emergency services. Isama na rin ang mga mamahaling gamot, lab tests, therapy, at marami pang iba. Libre ang inyong paggamot. Ang pangangalaga sa kalusugan ng mamamayan ay ang ating pangunahing tungkulin, dahil ang serbisyong medikal ay karapatan at hindi dagdag pasanin.
Mabilis ang trivia, dagdag talino. Heto na ang Dagling Kaalaman.
Paggamit ng maliit na plato, nakakabawas ng timbang? Parang hindi ka pani-paniwala, subalit ayon sa scientists, nakakatulong sa pagpapapayat ang paggamit ng maliit na plato. Napag-alaman ng researchers sa Cornell University na dahil sa paggamit ng maliit na plato, nabawasan ng 30% ang dami ng calories na kinakain ng mga respondents. Pero ito ay posible lang kung present ang dalawang kondisyon. Una, dapat ang tao mismo ang magsiserve ng pagkain sa kanyang sarili dahil kumukonti ang kinukuha niyang pagkain. At pangalawa, hindi dapat binabantayan ang pagkain ng tao.
Kaunting kaalaman na malaking dagdag talino. Abangan muli ang susunod na Dagling Kaalaman.
Paano nga ba mag-register para magkaroon ng schedule sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center? Narito ang mga dapat gawin. Gamit ang iyong mobile device, pumunta sa eGovPH app. Pwede itong i-download mula sa Apple App Store o sa Google Play Store. Gumawa ng account. Ilagay ang email address, valid mobile number, pagkatapos ay makakatanggap ka ng one-time code sa iyong email. Gamitin ang code sa eGov app para sa verification ng iyong account at ng mga impormasyong ibinigay. Congratulations! Meron ka ng eGovPH app account. Pwede mo na ma-access ang iba't ibang serbisyo ng gobyerno kabilang ang mga serbisyo sa Bagong Pilipinas Presidential Action Center.
This is a public service announcement.
Maging handa sa oras ng sakuna. Para sa iyo at sa iyong pamilya, laging siguruhin, Go Bag ay nakahanda at naglalaman ng mga sumusunod. Ilang pirasong damit, ready-to-eat na pagkain at inuming aabot ng 3 araw. Personal na gamit para sa inyong hygiene. First aid kit kabilang ang alcohol, bandages, gamot sa lagnat, ubo at sipon, pati na rin ang inyong vitamins at maintenance medicines. Maglagay ng pito, flashlight, lighter o posporo. Huwag kalimutan ang mga charger o power bank. At higit sa lahat, isama ang mga importanteng gamit gaya ng inyong mga legal na dokumento, IDs, ATM o passbook, insurance at iba pa.
This is a public service announcement. Public service announcement from PBS, Presidential Broadcast Service, and Radyo Pilipinas.
Paliwanag mo sa tao na hindi totoo yan.
Dahil ang totoo, Yung totoo ang dapat ninyong malaman.
Nagkalat sa internet ang fake news
Ang
o
ginagawa
mali
ng
at
fake news, tinatakot niyo yung tao.
What they are doing is creating panic.
We say no.
Yung pagkalat ng fake news, and some of it's dangerous.
Sana iwasan po natin pagsispread ng fake news.
At di magpapakalat ng disinformation at misinformation ang kasulukuyang administrasyon.
Stop telling us fake news because you're wrong.
Para sa totoo at mapagkakatiwalaang mga balita at impormasyon, Radyo Pilipinas.
Front and center. Front and center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Time to celebrate kulturang Pinoy, tradisyon, musika, sining, literatura at iba pa. Anything and everything fun and Filipino. Ito ang Pinoy Kultura.
Ikaw ba ay naharana na?
Tunawin mo sana.
Sabi nila, ang harana ay isang matandang tradisyon ng pangliligaw sa Pilipinas na unti-unti nang nakakalimutan. The harana or the serenade first gained popularity in the early part of the Spanish period. Ang manliligaw o nanunuyo ang siyang kumakanta at pag sinuwerte, sila ay papapasukin sa bahay. Pag minalas, water gets thrown at them or sometimes even worse things. There's a website that actually books haranas for you to experience this widely known tradition. Sa iyong palagay,
uso pa ba ang harana?
Yan ang Pinoy Kultura because our culture is cool.
This is a public service announcement.
Discipline is the key. Umiwas sa aksidente sa daan. Ang pagmamaneho ay may kaakibat na responsibilidad, hindi basta mapaandar lang ang sasakyan. Kilatisin ang sarili, ang kahandaan sa manibela, siguruhing inyong konsentrasyon ay hindi magagambala. Importante rin na ating laging isipin, init ng ulo ay huwag pairalin, bagkus kaligtasan ng lahat ang siyang dapat unahin. Isang mahalagang paalala mula sa Presidential Broadcast Service at Radyo Pilipinas, Radyo Publiko 738.
This is a public service announcement. Public service announcement from PBS Presidential Broadcast Service at Radyo Pilipinas, Radyo Publiko 738.
All right, welcome back to Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Still with me, Jerome Toledo. All right, like we mentioned earlier before we head into the break, over the weekend from February 13 to until today, February 16, the Royal Australian Navy ship HMAS Toowoomba has docked in Subic in Zambales as part of the ongoing efforts to strengthen Navy-to-Navy relations. So this one, an Anzac-class frigate of the Royal Australian Navy, is docked at the Naval Operating Base in Subic, Zambales for interoperability exercises. So what we have gained from this interoperability exercise with the Royal Australian Navy, and do we have future interoperability or naval exercises with Australia and other allied nations? So to give us more details regarding this news, we have now on the line the Philippine Navy spokesperson, Captain Marisa Arlene Martinez, PN. Thank you so much, Captain Martinez, for joining us in the program. Good morning, Captain Martinez. Good morning, Captain Martinez. Thank you so much for joining us in the program.
Hello, sir. Good morning po, and thank you very much for the invitation.
All right.
It's a pleasure, sir.
All right. So yeah, the HMAS Toowoomba has docked in the in our ports, Subic Port, naval. That's our naval base there in Zambales. So, what Philippine Navy has gained upon the port call of Royal Australian Navy ship?
Oh, sir. The Philippine Navy has benefited from their port of call. There were professional exchanges. There was bilateral talks between the Philippine Navy, the Philippine Fleet rather, and the Royal Australian Navy. There were also technical discussions. We shared best practices, and there were several activities when they were here since February 13. And today would be their last day.
Okay, so you mentioned about the best practices that Australian Navy has shared. So, if you can share with us, Captain Martinez, of what was the and also you also mentioned about the exercise. So can you share us in details what was transpired there?
Yes, sir. So, in relation to the activities that were conducted just recently, so there was a sharing of subject. There was sharing of information related to the replenishment at sea. So, replenishment at sea is really quite a difficult activity. It is a naval operations that is usually um, that it is an underway replenishment. It is a high risk precision operations. So subject matter experts were invited to share their knowledge and skills because for the information of everyone, replenishment at sea or RAS is usually done underway. But this time it was just more of the lectures and practicals in port rather. And RAS is usually conducted in two ways. It could be underway replenishment or vertical replenishment. So what are usually the things or the activities related to the replenishment at sea? So it is a type of operations that enables warships or ships or surface combatants to receive or transfer fuel, ammunition, stores. It could be wet like water and other supplies while underway. We also have what we call vertical replenishment, and that could be done through the helicopter po, sir.
All right. So replenishment at sea. So we can use this particular exercise when it comes to disaster response, and also on naval military operations. Captain Martinez.
Yes, sir. One thing that is very important when we talk of operations is its sustainment at sea. So in order to sustain our ships at sea, we need to replenish their fuel, their stores, or their wet and dry supplies. And this is usually done through replenishment at sea. And I mentioned a while ago that it is high risk and it's a precision type of operations because you have to maintain your speed and the ships have to be parallel with each other. And the distance actually between the ships is around 100 to 200 feet. If I talk of speed, the speed is usually 16 knots. For those who are listening, 16 knots is around 30 kilometers per hour. So
Okay.
they are doing these things at the same time, and there are also uncontrollable forces that are involved there. We have the current, we have the waves also. So that's how difficult it is. So the replenishment at sea is very important in order to sustain operations. So besides that activity, ship safety was also discussed, seaworthiness, because things discussed related to maintenance standards, operational readiness, were also shared among the Royal Australian Navy as well as our Philippine Fleet participants, sir. So this activity, their port visit and the exchanges they made enhanced maritime collaboration. It also strengthened and enhanced our operational interoperability.
Yeah.
And it just shows our commitment to regional security and stability, sir.
All right. So there was a safety protocol that were observed there during the interoperability exercise there, Captain Martinez. So yeah, and does this one integrates full integrates rather with our Jose Rizal class frigates, Captain?
Yes, sir. What is very important when we talk of operations is uh, having a good communication with the ships that are out at sea. So integration means you are able to share information, you're able to communicate to each other, you have a common operating picture of the environment, so that everything that is being conducted is flawlessly being executed, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay, very well said. Okay, but there's an upcoming exercise, which is exercise Kakadu in Australia that Philippine Navy will participate anytime soon. So, are there any specific asset or units the Philippine Navy plans to commit to the exercise based on the discussions held during the visit, Captain?
Oh, for the particular asset that will be committed for that, we still need the approval of our chief of staff. But definitely, we will be sending one of our new ships, our frigates. But the bow number would still be relayed to the media once the approval would be relayed to us coming from higher headquarters. But I would just like to highlight that the Kakadu exercise involves 26 countries. And this Kakadu exercise will coincide with the 125th anniversary of the Royal Australian Navy. And they will be having a international fleet review. That will be in Sydney, then they'll be going down to Jervis Bay. So the International Fleet Review will be on the 21st of March. And what is good about it, because your Philippine Navy is moving towards being modern, multi-domain, self-reliant, and a credible partner in the region, we could already participate in such exercises, multilateral exercises, besides the Balikatan, sir.
Okay, so there will be an event that the Philippine Navy is anticipating, so that we can learn from the best practices of Australian Navy when it comes to naval operations and also on disaster response. And how is the Philippine Navy developing the naval base infrastructure to better support long-term logistics for visiting partner navies? So like this one, we've just welcome the Royal Australian Navy ship, and there will and I assume that more ships coming from countries like the United States, Japan, and other allied countries will arrive in our naval ports. Captain Martinez.
Oh, yes. When we speak of modernization and working with other like-minded countries or strategic partners, it involves developing, of course, our facilities. And being a modern Navy does not only entails having modern platforms or capabilities. It also comes hand in hand with enablers. So what are these enablers? They are the improvement of our facilities, of our bases, improvement of our sustainment, improvement of our storage system, improvement of our people. So that is the enhancement of the competencies, not only of our sailors and officers, but that includes unit proficiency, not only within the Navy, but also across the major services and with like-minded countries also. Because we're not only conducting HADR activities, but I would just like to highlight we have moved towards events or serials related to warfare. So we're not only conducting or performing HADR related activities or the replenishment at sea, but we do surface warfare operations, anti-air warfare operations, anti-submarine operations, and a lot more, sir. So these are usually being conducted by modern ships, and your Navy is already capable to do such.
And Philippine Navy is ready to handle and cater those incoming naval ships from our allied partners. Okay, and following this visit, Captain Martinez, are there plans for a trilateral or quadrilateral maritime activity, including Australia, U.S., and also Japan in the West Philippines in the coming months?
Oh, that's a nice question. In year 2026 and the following years, we are seeing a lot of exercises. We have the Balikatan. Your Philippine Navy participating also in the RIMPAC. We have bilateral exercises, just like last year, but this time it will be a level up on the events. And besides that, I would just like to highlight also the activities we're also conducting, the multilateral maritime cooperative activities, and that's having a sail or joint patrols out there in our West Philippine Sea, not only in the north, or not only in the west, but also in across the country, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. So we will be expecting exercises with our allied and also partners from the U.S., Japan, and Australia, and some other allies. But we don't have a definite date for this particular exercises.
Oh, we have already. The Balikatan will be sometime March. The Rimpak will be on July. We have also exercises by the end of by the last quarter, like exercise sama-sama. That is an exercise with the United States, but it includes other countries. Just like last year, we were able to conduct the exercise sama-sama in West Philippine Sea, and there were other countries that participated there, like like our friends from Japan, from Canada, from Australia. So we're seeing more because these types of exercises not only enhances our competencies, our proficiency in the execution of warfare events, but it also helps us when we talk of being interoperable. It's also one way to share information because a very important thing when we talk of operations is having a good maritime situational awareness of the battle space. And in order to have a very good to be strong in your maritime security awareness or maritime situational awareness, sharing of information is very important and timeliness is very important in order for us to have a common operating picture.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Just two more questions before I let you go, Captain Martinez. So, you mentioned about the maritime domain awareness. My question is this kind of exercise open to public? Anyone can join, even government officials, lawmakers can join.
Oh, sometimes just like in Balikatan, there were agencies that were invited to join because there were several scenarios pertaining to HADR. Same also with our previous exercises, there were scenarios related to um, climate change, HADR, the conduct of maritime law enforcement. So they are our agencies are invited. Not only that, but that also includes our reservists. So we also the Armed Forces of the Philippines through our general headquarters do conduct interagency exercises also. It includes information operations, cyber warfare. So those are nice. These are activities that helps in the improvement of the way we do things, the way with our mandate of protecting the people, protecting the country, and also serving our Filipinos, our kababayans, especially when it comes to HADR, when it comes to disaster response.
All right.
Sir.
All right. And lastly, since the Calayan Island Group is in the West Philippine Sea is a hot topic for the past few days or a week, how is the monitoring of the Philippine Navy there in that particular maritime territory, the Calayan Island Group?
Okay, very nice question. Your Navy is continuously conducting its mandate. We continuously do monitor not only the maritime militias or the coast guards that are there from other countries, from the other country rather, but we also do monitor transiting vessels, merchant ships, because we know that this part of this region is being plied by a lot of ships, and we know for a fact that roughly $3 trillion is the worth of
goods transiting.
the goods that passes. Yes,
Yeah.
so we have to have a good maritime security awareness of situational awareness of not only that area but also in the north, the eastern side where our Philippine rice is, and also in Mindanao, because we have a lot of sea lines of communications. We have also our ASLs, archipelagic sea lanes, and it's a need, especially from your armed forces, to do its mandate, which is to see to it to protect our territorial integrity, our sovereignty, and of course our people, sir.
Protect our what is ours and protect its people. Very well said. All right.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right. With that, thank you so much for joining us in the program. Philippine Navy spokesperson Captain Marisa Arlene Martinez PN for joining us in the program. Thank you.
Yes,
and have a
sir.
good day.
Thank you very much, sir. And your Philippine Navy will always remain committed to working with partners to promote maritime security and regional stability, sir. Maraming salamat, sir.
All right, good day. All right, and that was Philippine Navy spokesperson Captain Marisa Arlene Martinez PM as we talk about the port of call of HMAS Toowoomba, and at the same time what we have gained here from the visit of the Royal Australian Navy ship, and also we've discussed a bit about the monitoring of Philippine Navy in the West Philippine Sea, particularly in the Calayan Island group. All right. Okay. With that, we now conclude this edition of Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service, together with our technical team, headed by Ms. Susan Aison. On Wardcast, Justine Ocias, and audio live streaming, Mr. Leo Magpayo. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.